Hey guys, what's up? It's Jason here, obviously. And I know we've been a little quiet on the Excerpt media front lately. Um, Life happens, things happen. We're super busy and, some personal things, but I think we're all past that now. And we're back with our first ever end of the summer sale. So all our t-shirts are discounted between the 14th of this month and the 22nd of this month. And I obviously have a new piece up. And then I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a super long time. And that is I'm going to read an excerpt from Exit Here, my first book, which I'm sure you guys know me from, or a lot of you, or most of you know me from, and it's my baby, and I don't think I've read out loud from it in 4 years, something like that. So anyway, it'll be interesting. Here we go. This is not a love story. These are the words that have been scraped into the ceiling of my tiny shithole room, my box-like dungeon, my brand new fucking home. Below that, there are no happy endings. Sometimes I think about who the fuck carved this shit in here. A lot of times, actually, because I have a lot of time on my hands to think about everything. Around here, this is what passes as entertainment. You wake up, think. You eat, think. You shower, think. You write some shit down, think. This is what my days and nights consist of. This is my life. My life. I can't wake up and fuck some hot girl anymore and get fucked up on some shit. And it sucks, but I have nobody else to blame except myself. I made all the decisions that led me to this point, so even if I tried to point a finger, I would only be pointing at myself, and there's no need for that. Not anymore. I'm well past that shit now. But still, I sometimes catch my mind wandering around, walking backward. I catch myself thinking about the things that have happened and how if I'd just done this or that differently, I might be in a different place right now. Who knows where? Maybe getting loaded in a room and going off to some wicked lightning bolt shit. Maybe booze cruising down some highway, smoking cigarettes, jamming out to the replacements. Maybe lying in some bed next to Laura, bodies covered in sweat, holding on to her. Greg Ashley flowing from some nearby stereo. Laura. I always catch my mind racing back to her, especially to this one night in particular, Christmas night 2 years ago, when I was home from college. This night jumps out because it was the night before I left for my trip to Hawaii, the trip to where everything changed and flipped upside down for me. The night when Laura stood across from me and told me not to go. Stay here the rest of your break and be with me, she said. No way, I told her. I've been stoked for this trip since like 2 months ago. Fine, she said, just go. Leave again, but get me something awesome. What do you mean? Buy me some cool shit from Hawaii. Pulling my shirt off, I crawl into bed and look at the ceiling. This is not a love story. I look below that. There are no happy endings. Travis Wayne. Chapter 1. You look kind of weird, man. How's that? You almost don't look like the same Travis, Chris tells me after picking up a small mirror with 2 lines of blow on it. I take the mirror from his hands, set it down on the coffee table in front of me, right next to an issue of Vice magazine, the drugs issue. And even though I actually think I know what Chris meant by that, I still ask him, what's that supposed to mean, dude? Chris swings his bloodshot, pitch-black circled eyes over to his roommate and childhood friend of mine, Kyle, then quickly back to me and says, you've totally lost your edge, man. He sniffs, swipes his nose. Your face looks all pale and worn out and sunken in. You look out of shape. You're pale, Trav. You've been in the fucking desert for a year, and you look pale, man. Unbelievable. I mean, I remember when you came back to the city during Christmas break, and you came over here one time in the middle of the night in a fucking limousine, wearing a pair of shades with like 3 scarves hanging off your neck, a bottle of champagne in both your hands, totally name-dropping a couple of the dudes from the Brian Jonestown massacre that you and Laura were hanging out with after show. And now look at you, man. You walked off the airplane an hour ago with your shoulders bunched up, looking all timid and shit, while you were waiting for your luggage at the bag claim. And no sunglasses. It's June and you weren't wearing any sunglasses. Your swagger's gone. That's what I mean, man, he finishes before dipping 2 of his fingers into a glass of water and sliding them up his nose real fast. Come on, Chris, Kyle says. Don't be a dick. You should be happy because our rad friend is back from Arizona. I am. Thanks, man, I say. Chris rolls his eyes. Jamming the blue straw that's been cut in half up his right nostril, I snort once, twice, breathe. My eyes start watering. I go, do you guys ever feel like you're locked inside a car that's moving really fast? What kind of car, Chris asks. Like a fucking red Monte Carlo with a black racing stripe cutting through the middle of it, and there's some super intense phantom of shit jolting from the car speakers. Like Mike Patton and Buzz Osborne just completely losing it, but no steering wheel. The car doesn't have one. And the car is so out of control, right? It's swerving all over the road, and you're crying, pounding your fists against the window, trying to jump out of it, trying to bail from it. And then all these people start popping up on the road, like your parents and your sister and your friends. And the car is playing human dodgeball with them. It's trying not to run anyone over, but it's not slowing down either. And then some junky babe pops up in the middle of the road, and the car destroys her, leaving her mangled body in its burnt rubber path. And then it keeps on going and going, even though it can't maintain anything close to the same speed. Pause. You two ever feel anything like that? I'm a fucking coke dealer, Kyle says. All I do is run over junkies, night after night, again and again. And Chris goes, nah. He goes, I never feel like that, but if I was in that car, instead of Phantomus blasting, I think I'd be listening to Early Faith No More, the Chuck Mosley days. That shit would really blow your mind during a human dodgeball game. You think you have a choice, Kyle snorts? The car he's talking about doesn't even have a steering wheel, so no way you'd be able to pick out the music. No way, man. I'm just saying, Chris snorts back. Early Faith No More would be a better choice to listen to in that particular situation. Don't you think, Trav? Maybe, I say. I lean forward, wipe a thin line of coke residue off the mirror with my thumb, and rub it back and forth against my gums a bunch of times until my mouth goes numb. Then I light a cigarette. You gonna be alright, Chris asks. You look like your heart's just been ripped from your chest. Plugging my nostrils with my other hand, I snap my head back and sniff super hard. I think I'll be okay, I say. I look at the clock that hangs crooked on the dirty white wall in front of me, just above this black and white poster of P.J. Harvey sitting on her bar stool, legs spread, panties showing. It's 5 o'clock. Shit. What's up, asks Kyle. I gotta meet my parents for dinner soon, like in an hour. Chris starts laughing. The 3 of us are watching the new Queens of the Stone Age DVD, and when I see Kyle get out of the blue reclining chair he stole from a nursing home recreation room last summer, I say, yo, Kyle, will you grab me something to drink? What do you want, he asks. Water. Kyle says, no problem, dude. And he walks back into the living room a few moments later in his blue dicky pants, his white Death From Above t-shirt, his left arm sleeved, his black hair butched with 2 lines shaved into each side of his head, and he hands me a warm glass of water. I take a drink and light another cigarette and look hard at Chris, who's wearing a pair of dark blue Levi's, a plain black t-shirt, and a pair of Vision Wear high tops. And I ask him when the last time he slept was. This morning. What about you? On the plane right here. Kyle goes, what happened to your car? What happened to all this shit you took with you to Arizona? I shrug. Sold most of it. Fucked my car up like 2 nights after I got back to school from Hawaii. Both of them smiled, and I start asking them about what's been going on since I left. Not much. What's new? Not much. I ask about everyone I can think of. Cliff, living with his dad, being a loser, fucking Natalie Taylor. Michael, getting wasted, destroying meat pits, lurking on Kennedy Street. Claire, being totally hot. I swallow a huge glob of spit. Laura, silence. Laura, silence. Laura, nothing. Chris starts blushing. He rubs his eyes, shakes his head from side to side. Laura. I don't know, Kyle finally jumps in. I don't see her that much anymore. She pretty much hangs out with different people now. But the last time I saw her at the Glass Castle, she was still looking good, man. She still had that whole Kate Bosworth thing going on for her. It's not a thing I say. She really looks like that Bosworth chick. Maybe it's Kate Bosworth who has that whole Laura Kennedy thing going on for her. Come on, Trav, Chris grunts. Get real. What do you even care what she's up to? She probably hates you. I just want to know, Chris, what the fuck? What happened to you anyway, Kyle asked. You came back for Christmas, flew to Hawaii, went back to Arizona, and cut everyone off. Things got, complicated. And Chris goes, things have always been complicated with you, Trav. Did I do something to you, Chris? Because you're being a total dick to me right now. Chris shoots Kyle a look, and Kyle goes, you pretty much are, man. Facing me again, Chris goes, no, Trav. You didn't do anything. You just look different and talk different. Pause. He lights a cigarette. It's making me a little nervous. Well, your jaw's sliding around all crazy because you're tweaking so hard, and that's kind of freaking me out. I know it is, Chris says back. It's been doing that every time I get high lately. I should probably chew some gum when I do this shit. Probably. Kyle dumped some more coke onto the mirror. Last night I called him and I asked him if he'd pick me up from the airport this afternoon, but to not tell anyone that he was, which he didn't, except for Chris. And he went, you're coming back. Do your parents know? Yeah, but they already have plans. They can't pick me up. My dad sounded pretty pissed off. But I thought you wanted to stay out there for the summer, he said. Maybe even do some traveling. I need to come back, man. Why, he wanted to know. And I told him, Kyle, just pick me up. He cuts 2 more lines and hands me the mirror. 1, 2, goddamn, this is some good shit. Breathe. And I'm really back. So that's it for now. I think I'm going to come back with another chapter. But hope you enjoyed it. And, the shirts are on sale for a week. So if you wanted to get the best fucking shirt that's available to own on the planet right now, Unicorn and Kingdom Panther to Hell, it's on sale, $10 off. And hope you guys are all doing well. And you'll be hearing a lot more from us at XE Here Media. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.